Hey, sports fans, welcome back to another episode of Bucky's Sports Show. This evening I'm going to talk about the Braves homestand with the Cubs and the Astros. We will get started with the first series at home that was against the Chicago Cubs. The Braves came into this game coming off just an awful 18-2 loss to the Mariners. And they bounced back pretty well. Not great, but they won the game 4-1. They were 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position with 7 hits. They had 7 hits. They didn't walk at all. If you're getting 7 hits, you got to have more than 2 at bats with runners in scoring position. That's just absurd. Especially when you're looking at it scoring wise. The Braves had a home run in the first from Albies. That was a solo shot. And then Drake Baldwin had an RBI double. Acuna Jr. brought him around on an RBI single. So one of the at-bats was literally in the first inning. I don't want to call this just an awful week and it was their worst week. And I don't really know what else to add because I want to save some of it for an episode coming up here in a couple weeks. But when you're bad, you're bad. But looking at one of the bright spots, Drake Baldwin, he had the RBI double. He added to his Rookie of the Year campaign resume. Hopefully that works out for him. Bryce Elder, he's kind of auditioning for a starting spot next year. Good, nice start against a playoff team. 6 1/3 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, struck out 6, walked 1. Not awful. This wasn't the worst performance. Trust me, that was that 18-2 game. But still, I mean, they don't even win pretty anymore. Tuesday night, back to what they've been doing. Cubs win 6-1. Braves had 4 hits. Braves could only muster 4 hits. And again, the oddity of the Braves season. They have a game with 7 hits, only 2 at bats with runners in scoring position, and then this game they have 4 hits and have 6 hitters or 6 at bats with runners in scoring position. I wish I had an answer. And their offense, it was an RBI single from Profar in the third. They were down 2-0 at that point already. Cubs scored 4 in the 8th to put the game out of reach. Strider, he started again. He went 6 innings, 2 runs, 3 walks, 6 hits, struck out 8. Just another bad game. Wednesday night, Cubs won this game 3-2. Nacho Alvarez got things started with an RBI double. That was in the bottom of the third. The Cubs answered with 2 in the top of the fourth. Got another one in the fifth. And Braves got their last run in the bottom of the fifth on a sac fly from Matt Olson. And Chris Sale, he goes 5 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 walk, struck out 9. Braves offense 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position, 7 hits. They did walk twice. So out of a 3-game series, they only had 2 walks. Only had 2 walks the entire series. Going into Friday night, Houston won this game 11-3. This game was disappointing from the standpoint of this was Hurston Waldrop's start this week, and I know younger rookies aren't going to be perfect, but he was not good in this game. He went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 8 runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, struck out 4, 1 home run. Dunning came in for him, who gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, didn't walk anyone, struck out 2. The other bullpen guys were fine. Braves offense scored 3 runs. They didn't have a single at bat with the runners in scoring position. They got 5 hits and could not get a single at bat. Or maybe I should say a single official at bat with runners in scoring position. Again, their offense was home runs. Cunha hit a home run in the 6th, and Eli White hit a home run, a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th. 11-3. Not a single at bat. Not a single at bat with runner in scoring position. This just keeps getting worse. The one bright spot was going to be you could play spoiler, and it just gets worse. Saturday night, Houston won this game 6-2. I mean, thank God college football's back on. I don't know what else to say. Bryce Elder, he got the start in this one. He went 4 1/3. 6 runs, 10 hits, 3 walks, struck out 7, a home run. So all the nice work that he did against the Cubs there on Monday to help him solidify a spot in next year's rotation just flew out the window. Braves offense, they're 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. At least they had a couple of at-bats in this game with runners in scoring position. 2 runs on 6 hits. Olsen hit a home run. And Ha-Seong Kim, he had an RBI single, which was your 1 hit with runner in scoring position. So, there you go. And then you get to Sunday. Braves win 8-3. 8-3. Get 11 hits. Score 8 runs. You're 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position. You have 15 at bats with runners in scoring position. And my thing is, it's the same lineup night after night after night after night. The only difference between this game and all the other games was Leon was catching instead of Baldwin, because Baldwin caught last night and they don't want him to catch in the day game after the night game. Or it's the same lineup. Same lineup. At any rate, Joey Wentz got the start. He went 4 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, struck out 5. Stratton came in for him in the 5th. He went 2 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 walk, struck out 2. He got the win. I was going to mention that Iglesias, he came in. He's lowered his ERA down to 3.5. That's still not good for a closer, but I mean, I was complaining about it in July being above 6. So he's done well the second half of the season. He may have cemented his spot for next year coming back. But the Braves offense, like I said, 4 for 15, runners in scoring position. Olsen hit a home run in the 1st. Leon had an RBI fielder's choice in the 2nd. And in the 5th, 6th, 7th is where Atlanta did their damage. They scored 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Albies had a 2-run single. Ha-Sung Kim added an RBI single in the 6th. Albies had an RBI double. And in the 7th, Leon had a 2-run home run. But 8-3 against a playoff team, you're going to take it. You're not thrilled about how the week went, though. It was just going back to Saturday the 6th when they were playing the Mariners. They lost 10-2, followed by 18-2. Then they won 4-1. Then they lose 6-1, lose 3-2, lose 11-3, lose 6-2. And they finish off the week with an 8-3 win. It's not the worst week of the season, but it's close because outside of one of those losses, they're not competitive. Going back to the first 7-game losing streak. They lost by 3, they lost by 1, they lost by 1. And then they had 2 where they lost by 5. And they lost by 2, they lost by 1. They were competitive. And then their second losing streak of 7. They lost by 2. Another loss by 5. Lost by 1, lost by 1, lost by 1, lost by 1, lost by 1. Again, they were competitive. But in this stretch, again, going back to last Saturday where they lost 10-2, they lost by 8, they lost by 16, they won by 3, they lost by 5, they lost by 1, they lost by 8, they lost by 4. They won by 5. They're not competitive. They're not competitive. It's almost like they folded it. They called it in. Is what it is. It is what it is. Looking at, again, some of baseball's more exciting teams, because we do have some fun races shaping up here. In the American League East, the Toronto Blue Jays have widened their lead to 3.5 over the Yankees. The Yankees do play at Boston tonight, so that could end up being down to 3 or up to 4 by the end of this evening. And the Red Sox are only 6 back, so I think it'll be hard for the Red Sox to leap 2 teams, but it's not impossible there. I am curious, though, if there's probably not even enough time. With just 13 games left, they would almost have to win out. And they've lost 3 in a row, so probably unlikely. Detroit, they got a 6.5 game lead on Cleveland. Again, probably not enough time left for Cleveland. Especially when you add that Detroit's got Atlanta at home for 3 games. That's probably going to be 3 wins there for them. So they're, that's 3 less games the Guardians really have to jump them. Now the AL West. The AL West is the exciting one. And this is where the Braves could have really made some noise because right now, Seattle has overtaken Houston. We may not have played spoiler against the Mariners. We may have played spoiler for the Mariners. They are currently, as I'm talking, up 11-2. And with the Braves beating the Astros, the Mariners should take, unless they have a colossal collapse there at the end, they should take a 1-game lead in the AL West over the Astros and 3 over the Rangers. That division will be fun to watch coming down the stretch. I kind of wish that the games didn't start at 10 o'clock at night. As I stated in one of my other podcasts, I'm old and I don't stay up that late anymore. So, Phillies in the NL East, the Phillies, they are up 12 games. I'm not sure how many the Mets have left. I know the Braves are down to 13 games left. And there's no X by the Phillies, so they have got to be close to clinching that division and should be done within the next day or two, would be my guess. In the Central, Milwaukee has clinched a playoff berth. They are 5.5 games ahead of the Cubs, so they should be clinching that division again with as many games as left. The Cubs would have to play just about perfect, and the Brewers would have to falter, and I don't see that happening at this point. And then the NL West, again, another exciting division. The outright favorites coming in a large margin were the Dodgers coming into the season. And they only have a 2.5 game lead on the Padres. Right now, as we're talking, the Dodgers are up 9-1 on the Giants. So that'll probably expand to 3. But the Padres are also playing the Rockies and currently have a 7-6 lead. So it may just stay at 2.5. That would probably be my guess. And then looking at the wild card, the Yankees and Red Sox and Astros all currently have a spot. Now, the interesting one here is the Red Sox are a half game up on Houston. So if the Yankees win this evening, the last 2 wild card spots would be a tie. And then you would look at the Texas Rangers, only 2 games back, and the Cleveland Guardians, only 2.5. Kansas City setting 6 back, but again, they'd have to jump 2 teams, plus the amount of games left, probably unlikely. But that stretch of games right there could be very interesting, especially when you're looking at Texas' schedule. Texas plays at Houston the next 3 nights. And they finish with the Guardians. So they kind of control their own fate on that wild card situation right there. I would much rather see Texas in than Houston. We'll see how that shakes out. And then at the NL wild card are the Cubs. The Cubs are a lock. It's just a matter of time. The Padres are a lock. It's just a matter of time. But the Mets are faltering. They are now only a game up on the Giants and 2 games up on the Diamondbacks and 2.5 up on the Reds. The Cardinals are 4 back. I really think it's too many teams to jump over for the Cardinals at this point. If there would be any moral victory to this season with as bad as the Braves are, it would be the Mets spending all that money in the offseason and not making the playoffs. Oh, that would be just absolutely beautiful. Now, the other interesting race, and maybe even races, is for playoff seeding. Right now, the Milwaukee Brewers are a 2-game lead over the Phillies for the top spot in the NL. And the Blue Jays are a 2-game lead over the Detroit Tigers for the top spot in the AL. So you also have to look at those races too, because those will determine home field advantage. And then not only that, but home field advantage throughout. The National League currently has a 4-game lead on the Blue Jays. The Phillies would have a 2-game lead on the Blue Jays. So some fun races there to keep an eye on as the season winds down here. Again, unfortunate the Braves aren't a part of any of those, but it is what it is. Looking at the Braves schedule, they have 4 games in the next 3 days with the Washington Nationals. They will play Monday night. They will play doubleheader on Tuesday night, and they will finish on Wednesday afternoon. That's a 4:05 start. A weird start time for middle week game. Normally you play those games earlier and get out of town for traveling. They must not want to do that. Or someone doesn't want to do that. And then they will play Friday night at Detroit, and then Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon at Detroit as well. So those 4 games, if the Braves lose them all, there will be a tie with the Nationals for last place in the NL East. I never thought we would be in that situation. And then you go play Detroit. This time next week, where we could be legitimately last place in the NL East with 6 games to play. Ha! Jeez, what a pathetic season. What a pathetic season. We'll talk more about that in a couple episodes, but jeez, oh Pete. This is just brutal. Absolutely brutal. Alright, that's all we got this time. We'll be back next week to talk about the road trip to Washington and Detroit. And thank goodness there's only 2 more weeks of this Braves crap, because I don't think I have that much left in me. As always, like, comment, follow, subscribe. If you want me to talk about anything else, let me know. As always, enjoy the games and go Braves. I guess. I don't know why.